Hey y'all, it's Sean Mock from the Bass College. Today we're going to go over a little bit of how I set up my kayak for bass fishing. For starters, I have the Wilderness System Ride 115X. Alright, you'll get to see a little bit of that. We're going to go over some of the different setups that I did with it, why I chose that to go that way, and also I'm going to go over some of the things I'm going to do with it in the future. Obviously, experience is the key, getting experience out on the water with it and figuring out what you want, like if that's going to work that way or if you want it in a different way and stuff like that. That's the key to remember on rigging your kayak. Be sure to put it out on the water before you just start doing stuff to it and see if you'd even like something like that. Alright, so let's get to it. Let's look at the kayak. Here's just a brief little overview of the kayak. Alright, like I said, Wilderness System 115X. Alright, it's got the removable console. We'll go over every little bit of it here in a minute. Alright guys, first thing we're going to go over is our PFD. I ended up going with a Stolkus. Alright, it was highly recommended by some other kayak angler friends of mine. Alright, it fits comfortably. And you'll notice in the back that the flotation sits up higher than normal. And so that when I'm sitting in this seat right here, the flotation isn't in the way of the backrest and I can sit comfortably. Alright, this is a very good PFD and a good choice, I think. Alright. Alright, next thing we're going to go over is our paddle. Alright, the Feel Free, this is what I went with, the Feel Free paddle. The Day Tour paddle was recommended by a few angler friends of mine. Alright, it's a two-piece, 240 centimeters. It grabs really well. It also works for when I'm standing up. It paddles really good when I'm standing up and paddling. Alright, another little feature which had no input on why I bought it, but I noticed it after I bought it, is that it had a little ruler. It's got a ruler across the paddle here, across the blade. Alright, and that actually may come in handy during these kayak fishing tournaments that I do. I'm able to get a quick look at it, at the length of the fish before having to pull out my hog trough. And that way I ain't wasting time or anything like that. Just blow the mark, toss it out, just above the mark, get a good weight on, get a good measurement on it after that. So that's my paddle. Like I said, the ruler at the end really had no input on why I bought it. It was just an added feature after I'd already purchased it, I found out. Alright, next thing that I did with my Wilderness System is I installed a knot right anchor trolley. So instead of drilling in this kayak, I installed a series of bungees and pulleys on each side of the kayak. Alright, and for those of you that's not familiar with an anchor trolley allows me, the anchor rope is going to run through this D-ring here, and it allows me to position my kayak on the anchor anywhere I need to. So position my kayak either going with the current, the back with the current, or the front with the current, or against. Alright, and it's also got this, with the way you do the knot right, you can loosen this up, loosen this knot up, and you can actually, you're able to extend this ring past the pulley. That way your anchor is a little bit closer to the front of the kayak. And same here as well, you can extend it further back. Or you can tighten up this knot. You can tighten up the knot and you can have your anchor really close to your kayak. You can loosen it up and have it really far out. And when you're going to store your kayak, you just tighten this knot up. Shove this under the rope. And you come back here and use your paddle holder. And that way, when it's flapping in the wind, it's not all over the place. Alright guys, next thing we're going over is the removable console. What I have rigged up in the removable console, I have an Elite 3X, Lawrence Elite 3X fish finder on here. Alright, The neat thing about the 115Xs, like I said earlier, is the removable console. Alright, mounted on top, I have the head. Mounted on the bottom of this console, I have the transducer, and inside this console, I have the batteries. Alright, like I said, it's removable, so you're out in the water, you're fishing it. Alright, you want to put it back on top of your truck, put it back for transport. You don't want all this all over the place, so you don't want to risk losing and messing up your gear or your electronics. So you just undo this little knob here, and it pulls right out. Alright, goes straight to the bottom, this hole for the transducer. And the console goes straight to the bottom, so nothing's interfering with your transducer. And that's pretty much it. Put it back on when you're ready to get back in the water. Push it back, tighten it up. We're ready. Turn that on, and we're ready to go. Alright? Simple as that. Alright, next thing I decided to do is going to be more for our cameras, our footage and stuff like that. I wanted something I could move around a little bit, get different angles, something that could go over my shoulder in video, but something I could also move around, like when I get some video underwater, or videos of me sitting down paddling, or anything like that. Okay, so I went with the dog bone panfish combo. Alright, the neat thing about this is, like I said, you can move it around. They got little ball joints all over the place. You tighten them up, you loosen them, and you can move them. Alright, so camera screws in up here. I got a straight shot up front, or off to the right, or off to the left. I want to move it around just to say I'm sitting down. I want it around my shoulder to the side, like that. Alright, same over here, that side. Another neat thing is going here to the bottom. I bring it all the way down, tighten it up, bring this one down, tighten it up. Now I got underwater footage. Underwater footage, just like that. Alright? And it's just as simple to bring it right back up to where we were. Alright, that's my camera mount. I'm also going to try a few other things up with the front for a camera as well. I don't exactly know how I'm going to do that yet, but I'm looking into that. For the kayak tournaments I do, most of them, or all of them, alright, you measure your fish by their length instead of by weight. So it's important to have these, because they require this one, the hog trough. Alright, and I have it rigged up with a little leash system. Alright, that way if I do drop it, I'm not worried about dropping or anything like that. And it's got some Velcro here that I can use to strap the fish down onto. That way I can get a good picture. Alright. Next thing, I got a set of fish grips installed on top of a rail on top of my black pack. Alright, and this is mainly used for if I'm catching snakeheads or something like that out there. But it's also if I'm in the bush or I want to connect myself to the bush or something like that. I can just clip that on real quick, and it'll go a little bit away from the bush, but it'll still hold me in that area. That way I ain't got to drop my anchor for something shallow like that. Alright, I also have 3 rod holders back here on the back of this black pack. And I have a leash system as well on the back of this black pack for my rods. Like if I'm paddling or something like that, if this is going under brush, I ain't worried about losing my rods. Alright, and I have a leash there that connects if I have 3 rods across, it'll connect all 3 rods back into the kayak. Alright, inside this black pack will hold 5 of my Plano boxes. Alright, and also some other random gear inside of it that you may need. You can also store stuff behind it, like this, behind the seat. If you got room back there, store another Plano box behind the seat. You probably store 2 Plano boxes behind the seat, but I don't need all that. Alright, let's go over this seat. In the back of this seat, I can store some gear. Like I got my scale here. Alright, also in the front, I have my pliers, scissors, and a lighter all stored in a little pouch up front. And also underneath the seat, you can store a little Plano box. There's a little slot to store a Plano box, smaller Plano box underneath the seat. That's where I keep all my terminal tackle. And the seat locks into the front and the back. You can slide it up, slide it back. And that's the high seat. It's easier to stand up on. Alright, so you see my kayak. You've seen how I kind of set things up for it. I'm going to be doing more kayak rigging, more different stuff. I want to install some lights on it. I want to install some flush mount rod holders on behind the seats, or behind the seat. So you can keep track of all what I'm doing in my kayak and get you some good ideas for your kayak as well at thebasscollege.com. Alright, we got a great forum going on. Lots of good people, lots of pictures, videos, articles on bass fishing in general for just about every state there is out there. Alright, and every body of water in that state. So check it out. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff. It's free. Alright, there's also a free bait program. Just sign up. Like I said, it's free. Sign up and learn different ways for you to earn free baits. Talk to people about bass fishing and watch some videos on how-tos and stuff like that. Alright, check it out. Thebasscollege.com. Alright, everybody have a great day. Tight lines.